Today we're diving into a topic that every business needs: how to build a high quality pipeline of leads that doesn't just increase your numbers but actually converts. Because whether you're working in sales, marketing, or RevOps, we know the importance of focusing on the right leads and not wasting your time on leads that are never going to buy your product. So stick around because I'm going to share with you some proven strategies on how you can build a highly effective lead list. The first step that you need to address is building an ICP. Your ICP is a fictional representation of the customer who is a perfect match for your company and product. Typically, now building an ICP is crucial because it can really help you in prioritizing your marketing efforts, optimizing any ABM campaigns that you have, knowing how to build personalized, tailored content, and in increasing your conversion rates. So when you're building your ICP, you want to look at both the demographic and technographic elements. Firstly, the demographic elements. By this, I mean the industry, company size, and location of your target customer, because this can really vary based on your product. For example, let's say your product is a cybersecurity solution. In this case, maybe you want to target some really critical industries like the aerospace, energy, or defense sectors. Additionally, you might want your target companies to have over 200 employees or above an X amount of revenue because they might be the most affected by any lapses in security. On the other hand, if your tool is an easy-to-use CRM platform, then you might want to target small and medium-sized enterprises that don't already have subscriptions to big CRMs like Salesforce. Thus, understanding the demographics of your company is really essential in building an ICP. And the best way to approach this is by looking at your existing list of customers. See if there are any common patterns that exist between them in terms of their locations, sectors, or any other demographic elements. Make a note of these patterns, and that can really help you in nailing your ICP. While creating your ICP, other elements to consider are perhaps some technographic elements. For example, if you sell a SaaS tool, you might need your target account to have some software already in place so that your product can be used in addition to it. Combine these demographic and technographic elements to create a thorough ICP, thus giving your salespeople the best chance of converting their leads to customers. Now that you've identified your ICP, you know who your key target accounts are, but what you still don't know is who are the right people to target within these accounts. And this is where your buyer persona comes in. Now, a buyer persona is basically a fictitious representation of the person you will be speaking to when you reach out to these target accounts. So the key things to consider in a buyer persona are perhaps the seniority of this person, maybe their job titles, how many years of experience do they have, and do they work in the department where your product is going to add value. For example, if you're selling a tool that helps with supply chain optimization, then perhaps you want to reach out to decision makers in the operations department and not necessarily in finance or marketing. This is where the buyer persona can help you identify the right people so that you don't waste your time and effort in reaching out to people who cannot make the purchasing decision for the target account. If you want to know more about how you can create a detailed buyer persona, then I'll drop in a link to another video in the description below, which I think will be really useful. Now that you've identified your ICP and buyer persona, you need to get some tools that can actually help you build a list with these people in it. And this is where Surf or LinkedIn Sales Navigator come in. These tools help you in searching for your target accounts and in finding people within these target accounts that you actually want to prospect. Both tools give you the options of searching for these target accounts and people using various filters such as geographical region, employees, revenue, job titles, and any other keywords that you might want to add. Surf also gives you the options of lookalikes. So let's say you already have a customer and you want to see what other accounts exactly match the profile of this customer, you can simply put it in the lookalike search. Using these tools can help you in creating a list of the prospects that you want to reach out to. Once you have created this list, The next thing that you want to focus on is your content and messaging strategy. And before we get deeper into that, it is important that you align your sales and marketing teams. Now, why is this so important? Typically, the marketing team is tasked with creating the messaging and the positioning of your product when you reach out to these prospects. But your sales team is actually the one that is talking to your prospects on a daily basis. They know the various pain points and challenges that these people are facing and the main value proposition of your product. So it is essential that both these teams work together to create messages for your LinkedIn outreach or emails or cold calls so that they are completely aligned and have the same goals and give you the best chance of converting these leads into customers. In addition to this, you also want to research your target accounts, perhaps by looking at their website, blogs, or any other announcement, and dive deeper into the LinkedIn profile of your prospects, as this can help you in personalizing your messaging and content and giving you a head start against your competitors. Moreover, by personalizing the messages, you build an implicit level of trust with your prospects as they know that you've done your homework and will propose something that can actually solve their problems. With the right amount of research and alignment between the sales and marketing teams, you can create various types of content, be it cold outreach messages or maybe even white papers and landing pages that gives you the best chance of converting these leads into customers. Alright, so now you've already built a list of leads and accounts and you have the messaging in place to reach out to them. But one critical thing to know is that a lot of these prospects are probably not in market when you actually contact them. And that is why it is important that you have an established lead nurturing program. Now, lead nurturing allows you to reach out to these leads and warm them up so that once they are ready to make a purchasing decision, they think of you and not your competitors. You can do this by sending various touch points over a long period of time with value-added information, maybe a newsletter or a white paper or perhaps a webinar or a video to some particular solution. In this manner, you can warm up your lead so that maybe 6 months later, when they have the budget and the decision-making capabilities for your solution, that's when they come to you and not to anybody else. At the same time, you should also have a lead scoring system in place. With this, you can track which leads are most receptive to your content and thus would be most open to actually speaking with you about your solution. By having this lead scoring model in place, your teams can focus their efforts on the leads that are most likely to convert instead of constantly reaching out to people that may never end up buying your solution. This is a very critical part of the entire lead nurturing process because a lot of times BDRs and salespeople always try to reach out to new leads but fail to realize that they may just not be in the market for your solution at this moment. Perhaps they already have a year-long license with somebody else, or maybe they don't have the budget for it right now. But when you nurture your leads and actually track that with an effective lead scoring system, then you know who to reach out to maybe 6 months later or a year later, but can still close that account and get the revenue from them. One thing to note when establishing such a long-term strategy is that you have a valid data enrichment provider, because a lot of times your contact details for the leads might actually change over time and you want to ensure that the content that you're creating is actually reaching your prospect. For example, if your prospect's email or phone number was to change, they may not receive the content that you're sending them. So if you have a tool such as Surf, which can help enrich your database constantly, that can allow you to have the peace of mind that the content that you're creating is actually reaching your prospects. With the ICP, buyer persona, lead nurturing and lead scoring, you already have the building blocks in place for building an effective pipeline of high quality leads. But it's essential to know that this is not a one-time process. You always want to iterate and improve the process and identify the inefficiencies, giving you the best chance of overcoming any problems and increasing the chances of conversion. Always review the profiles of your current customers because you might notice new trends and patterns that you might have missed out on when you created your ICP initially. Analyze your best performing content, whether it's an email or LinkedIn message, so that you know what's working and what's resonating with your prospects. Evaluate the various marketing channels that you're using and your distribution strategies, as keeping a keen eye over all these aspects will give you a head start over your competitors. If you found this video useful, then hit that like button and subscribe to Surf's channel for more engaging content coming your way. I'm Aviral and I'll see you next time. Bye.